Hey everyone, today we're going to learn about an awesome feature inside of Adobe Photoshop's beta version that allows you to do generative AI and to take and remove things from images and add things to images. We're going to learn about all of that today. All right, welcome back. If you haven't checked out my website already, go ahead and check out my website at learningdojo.ninja. Here you can check out all previous blog posts covering anything learning development related, how to get the most out of Articulate Storyline 360, how to get the most out of your audio and Camtasia as well. You can also download free templates in Articulate Storyline 360 and XAPI and video. You can also check out full courses, everything from A to Z in Articulate Storyline 360, Adobe Captivate, XAPI Fundamentals, Camtasia, Articulate Rise, Custom SCORM, and HTML5 Video. Now, there's been a lot of chatter about generative AI for ChatGPT, Photoshop as well. I don't normally jump onto these if somebody else is already covering it and until I kind of figure it out myself. But this was just so cool as I was playing around with it that I just had to cover something and show you about a couple different ways that you can use this generative AI. We work with, in this industry, a lot of stock images, and whether you're getting them from iStock or Adobe Stock or something like that, you work with a lot of stock images or a content library inside of Articulate. But sometimes those stock images aren't exactly what you're wanting. So that's where something like this will come into play, where you can remove stuff, where you can add stuff, and it's pretty cool on how it does it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the beta version. And just so you know, if you have a Creative Cloud account, you can go into the beta apps section and you can download this for free. This is part of your subscription. With this pulled up, I've grabbed a couple different stock images from the Free Pick website. You can download these as well. And I'm going to test out a couple different things. I have this new bar down at the bottom here that allows me to do a couple of things. The first thing I want to do, though, is I want to go ahead and draw out the areas that I want to remove. I don't really like these people standing right here, so I want to go ahead and just draw around. Now you can do this with any of the marquee tools or the lasso tool or anything like that. We're basically just going to select this object. Now I'm going to keep this reflection in there, and I want to get just the guy here as much as possible, basically. And I'm going to go up and then over just to make sure his entire area is selected. This is the new option I'm talking about, generative fill. It does have a text box in there, a prompt that you can go ahead and insert something in there and tell Photoshop what you want. But in this case, I want to remove something, so I don't need to fill out anything. I can just go ahead and hit generate. Now it's going to upload it to the cloud and it's going to download it and give me three different options that I can choose from. Now those three options, I can go ahead and accept one of those options, or I can send it back and get a couple other options as well. But you can see how well this did it. It actually kept the reflection pretty well inside of here. And if you want to, you can scroll through and see if you like some of these other options as well. I actually like the third option pretty well. And it's kept all the reflections and kind of the angles and everything like that. I can do the same thing with this person if I wanted to. But you can see how easy it is just to kind of remove things from these different photos. I'm going to work through another example here. If you're working with something like this, you can move that bar out of the way and you want to select and remove something. Notice that this has a pretty well-defined shadow. Make sure that you grab the shadow as well, because if you're trying to remove it and you don't grab the shadow, it may keep the shadow and just have that spot be dark. So you want to make sure that you remove that shadow there. You can see here that did a really good job. I don't think I need to go through the other options. But another thing you may want to do is you may want to add to the photo. Well, I can come up to the wall here and let's just draw a square so I get a nicer option here. And I'm going to hit generative fill. Now, generative fill allows me to, just like ChatGPT, tell it what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and prompt it here and be as descriptive as possible. So let's say professional painting. And then once I have that, I just go ahead and hit generate. Now it's going to give me three different options, but the nice thing about this is it's going to place it on the wall. You can see how well this did it, and I can scroll through these different options. Maybe that second one is angled a little bit differently, but that third one looks okay. But I'm really liking this first one here. Or if I want to hit generate, I can get three other options as well. But let's go ahead and stick with that one. The problem though is if I drag out an area, like let's say I want to have a chair there. and I say professional red chair. What happens is if I don't select enough of that space, it's going to try to squish it into that space that I have selected. If you're doing like a chair, you want to give it as much space as possible. I mean, this one looks nice. It's kind of a weird looking chair, but I want to go ahead and delete that layer. It adds on all of these as layers so I can turn them off and on if needed. But I'm going to give it a little bit more room here and just kind of stretch it out. And now I'm going to generative fill and say red office chair and then hit generate. Now it's going to go ahead and generate with a little bit more room an office chair with different options to choose from. Not all of the options are winners. You can see that sometimes it like generates a weird, or you can see the wheels look a little off there. So just keep that in mind. This looks a little bit better. I think that's good enough for now. Or let's do one more. That actually, I mean, it looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and do 2. You can ask it to generate it again. It's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job. And I like how it keeps it on the floor and creates the shadows and everything like that. So that is another scenario. One more scenario that I wanted to cover. Let's say I wanted to take this portrait image and extend it out. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go into my crop here. So I'm going to say my image or my canvas size, and I'm going to take this out to 8,000. On the sides, it pretty much leaves it. Well, let me unlock it first before I do that. I'm going to say canvas and then 8,000, and there we go. Now what I want to do is select this rectangle marquee tool, and I want to select the spot that I want to generate, but I'm going to just grab a little bit of that photo so it knows that I'm going to extend that photo. Just by doing that and hit generative fill, I'm going to hit generate, and it's not removing stuff, but because I grab that edge, it knows that I need to stretch it out. And so it's going to pretty much just take this image and create a completely new scene on the left-hand side. And you can see how well of a job that did. It matched the grass. It's given me a couple different options. I like that option probably the best. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side here and hit generative fill, and it's going to go ahead and generate that. I could even like take this and stretch this out to the edge if I wanted to. There's just so many different possibilities to choose from. That looks great. I'm kind of surprised on how well that looks. But now I've taken my portrait image, and there was no way that I was going to be able to get what that really looked like. And it's generating a new landscape for me, and I can add on to that. This is some powerful stuff. This allows you to manipulate some of the stock images to make it fit exactly how you want it to fit, and allows you to get the exact images that you want. If you want to check out more tutorials, head on over to my website at learningdojo.ninja. I cover anything learning development related. Also, you can download free templates and check out full courses, everything from A to Z on how to use Articulate Storyline 360, Adobe Captivate, XAPI Fundamentals, Camtasia, Articulate Rise, Custom SCORM, and HTML5 video. Also, if you like this video, head on over to my YouTube channel, click that like button and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you get notified of all future videos as they come out. That really helps my channel, allows me to continue to grow and produce more content for you. But that's all I have for today. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time.